This is the kitchen annex garden. So there's a kitchen garden, and this is the annex to the kitchen garden. All the sunflowers are volunteers, and I just let them go. I did thin them out. There were more to begin with when they were small. I thinned them out so they'd get huge. And some of these are 12 feet high. This is a kind of amaranth. I believe the variety is giant. This didn't get giant. Maybe it wasn't a good spot for it. I'm going to save the seed anyway. Summer squash. Yellow crookneck, you can see there. Little tomato patch over here. Some on the fence, some in cages. This one's not doing well. Don't know why. Look at the leaves. Yeah, see, that's going to die. This one's doing really well, though. This one, look at that. That's nice. There's some fruit on there. This is a Chiapas cherry tomato that a friend sent seeds to. I didn't get this going until pretty late. It was like May or June or something like that. But I figured with the cherry tomato, I didn't need as much time. And I got a couple of tomato starts from this store. This one is Celebrity. Just because the tomatoes I started were all cherry tomatoes or Roma tomatoes, but no like big fatties. So hopefully these will turn into big fatties. Oh, there's some more under there. Nice. Here's this one's not as big yet. That's a bush Goliath. And this one here, this is Zeus. This is a cherry tomato from Portland. Just barely see them way down in there. So yeah, this is a variety of tomato that volunteered at the Fire Pit Garden in Portland one year, and we saved the seeds from it because in Oregon it can be really tricky to get tomatoes going. So if there's a tomato that's such a short season one that it can actually volunteer, you don't have to start it inside, you still get fruit, that's great. And here's some Clipdaga mint family. It's from India. Makes these beautiful orange inflorescences. I'll put a picture up. Oh, look at Snuggles. Hey, Snuggles. Meow, meow. Yeah, it's medicinal. It's a nervine. Also good for the lungs. These might get 6 or 8 feet high by the end of the season. And then all along the fence here, you might be able to tell along the fence, there's tomatoes growing along the fence. These are an orange currant tomato. So you can see those are much smaller than cherry tomatoes even. These are like the size of grapes. These are a wild species of tomato. So this is a different species. All the other tomatoes here, the different varieties, they're all the same species. They're just different varieties, but this is an actual different species. Wild tomato. Part of the reason we got it is because, well, it was Nikki suggesting we get it, is because she thought it might actually be wild in this area. So inevitably some of these fruits will fall down here and maybe they'll volunteer next year. That was the hope, is that you could just get some. And the fruit are tiny. They're really delicious when they're ready. And I thought that when they start pouring in and there's a whole bunch of them, maybe I would sun dry a whole bunch of them or something like that as, snacks later in the wintertime. That's a nice tomato. It really is a nice tomato. So yeah, enormously tall, wild sunflowers. Notice it's all the little small heads. There's no big ones. This is a wild form sunflower of some kind, but yeah, they're just great. Pollinators love them. See all pollinators all over the place. This is the kitchen garden proper. Here's more yellow crooknecks. These are really big, you might notice. These are past when you'd want to eat them. These I'm going for seed, these 2 plants. So far they've produced 4 fruits. And there's some more coming along, that'll be cool. So I'm going to save, this has been happening a lot this year, and I don't know why. This thing where they start to look shrunken and don't work. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. Not enough water, too much water, uneven watering, who knows. Where you see all the tapes there, there's 12 different tapes there on the ground. Those are for carrots. These are for overwintering carrots. So These all just got seeded like 10 days ago or something like that. There's like 7 or 8 different varieties here. And these are all for the winter time. Because carrots are really a winter crop more than a summer crop. When it gets cold outside, they turn really sweet. Here's a bit of basil. Can't have too much basil. And here's the cucumber trellis. See the cucumbers climbing up there. Oh yeah, and see the shade cloth. This whole garden has shade cloth over it because it's just too damn hot for a lot of vegetables otherwise in this climate. Here you can see that one of the cucumbers has climbed up the sunflower. You can see the flowers, and there's the vine going up the sunflower. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cute. The sunflowers have a tendency to tip over, so I tied this one to the trellis so that it wouldn't hurt the, so that it wouldn't fall over and destroy the cucumber. Meow, meow, meow. Kitty. This bed here is Shiso, the green and the purple plants. Different varieties of the same plant. Shiso, also known as perilla. It's popular in traditional Chinese medicine. It's also used in some kinds of sushi. You might have had ume shiso before. That's where you have ume plum inside the rice, and then instead of being wrapped in seaweed, it's wrapped in a shiso leaf. So that's one of the vegetarian varieties of shiso, and we're growing this here this year because, well, A, it's just great, it makes a nice tea and it's delicious and all that, but also because with COVID outbreak in China earlier this year, there were traditional Chinese medicine doctors who were working alongside the Western doctors, and they were trying different things. And one preliminary thing that was happening was that they were finding good results in recovery from treating people with shiso and dandelion in combination. Now we still, of course, want to look that up and see, have they found out more? Are there other things, how often, when, blah, blah, blah. But, I thought, well, that's a good enough reason to put in a big patch. There's a bunch more going on in this garden. I'm not going to get into showing you all of it right now. There's strawberry beds in here. There's a bunch of catnip blooming. There's some beets. There's some carrots. There's some lamb's quarters. We'll look at the rest of this some other time, maybe. Look at that sunflower. So the shade structure is like 8 feet high, and it's growing up through the edge of the shade structure, up another 6 feet or something like that. That's seriously like a 14-foot high sunflower there. That's just amazing. He's my little buddy in the gardens. Meow.